So Kevin Sperry has decommitted. The Sooners' former quarterback in the 2025 class out of Denton Guyer flipped his commitment from Oklahoma to Florida State. Nope, we're not hiding the lead. We're going to drop it there. But the question now is, what do the Sooners do? Is it over? Is the class falling apart? Nah, thin class is fine. I'll explain to y'all why. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I am your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. So, as you can see, let's pop it up on the screen here. Kevin Sperry has flipped his commitment from Oklahoma to Florida State. Now, for some of you, you're like, whoa, what the heck is going on? Is the class done? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you, based upon what I know, as y'all know, I'm not an insider. I'm just a dude that's a fan of Oklahoma and college football that talks ball on multiple channels. And I have been told since the summer that this has been expected. And for Oklahoma, the question now is, who do you take as your quarterback for the class? There are a bunch of options out there, a bunch of players to look at, but Kevin Sperry had been committed to Jeff Lebby / Seth Luttrell back for over a year. And to my understanding, we haven't seen him at a game basically this season. So for a lot of the recruits and people, truth be told, the expectation is that he was not going to be a part of this class. I'm just telling y'all what I've heard and what the word has been in that. So since that's the case, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean as far as Oklahoma goes, and what are they going to do moving forward? Well, first and foremost, there's one recruit that keeps coming up, and I'm not sure what the actual answer is going to be with him, but it's Jamarian Ficklin. He's the quarterback, 3-star quarterback over at Muskogee, and he's really good. Size-wise, he's 6'1", about 185. He's 3-star on just about every single site. So he's just a player, and he's committed right now to Texas State. So he's an athlete, and a lot of people think that he has capabilities at quarterback. I've watched some of his film. Doesn't look bad. But there's a lot of back and forth whether if he's going to end up being the quarterback, but being the next one in the class. But I'm going to say this. This is my take about Sperry and the fact that, like I said, I've known that this has been coming for a bit, is that if we bring in a new offensive coordinator, what makes you think he doesn't want to bring in his own recruit at quarterback, as well as potentially the quarterback that he's coaching now? That, to me, is the expectation here. So you've got options. Right now, I've been hearing the up and down of Dan Mullen. We talked about it on the live. I've heard two other names. Ben Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator at Washington State. I've heard Joe Craddock, the offensive coordinator at Tulane, as potential options. And both of them have not only starting quarterbacks with them today, which are younger. You got Mateer at Washington State. You got Dorian Mensah, which y'all saw him earlier this season at Tulane. Mensah is like a freshman or redshirt freshman, so he's very young. He won out over Ty Thompson, who is also an option at quarterback. He's a former 4-star quarterback that a lot of teams went after. Heck, I think Oklahoma even offered him at one point, but I digress. So you'll have those options there, but then after you go and break down those lines, you have the recruits that those coaches have been going after, or you may have other recruits that those quarterbacks would like to have instead. So to me, if you get one of those two, or you look at another OC from another school, there's like 3 or 4 other options that Oklahoma is looking at. There's offensive coordinator over at Georgia Tech I've been seeing on some lists. I've seen offensive coordinator at Pitt. And I don't know if y'all know this, but one of the Oklahoma recruits at quarterback is committed to Georgia Tech. Grady Adamson, the quarterback at Deer Creek in Edmond, he's a commit for Georgia Tech. So if the Georgia Tech offensive coordinator gets the job at Oklahoma, I can assume that Grady Adamson will gladly stay home and play at Oklahoma instead. My point behind why I'm telling y'all this is there are a few different options when it comes to offensive coordinator and quarterback that could potentially end up at Oklahoma. So I don't have an answer for you all today. I do apologize, but I thought it was fascinating that Kevin Sperry went ahead and did the decommitment now, in which, if you want me to be honest, it kind of makes me think that an offensive coordinator has now been selected, or they're basically at the final steps. I believe that's what it is. Because I'm going to tell you this too. Picked up the phone and I called some people that I know have contacts at Florida State. First thing they told me was, I've never heard of this kid before till today. So that's nothing against Kevin Sperry, but it does bid the question, how long has this been going on? Because I know that he's been courted by other schools, but how long has this been going on? How long has there been the disconnect between them and Oklahoma? Because all I've seen Kevin Sperry do is tweet about Oklahoma over the last 6 months, even though he hasn't even been here in a while. Now, we all know that he transferred to Denton Guyer because, he was at Carl Albert. Then he transferred out and decided to move back closer to home because his mom was commuting. And I know I've seen him at camps and seen him everywhere, but it's kind of interesting that he has he decommitted, and like I said, he had been tweeting nothing but OU DNA and Oklahoma for a while, and then now he decommitted. So I wonder if this has been in the works for a bit. I'll tell you this. We will find out soon. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you think the offensive coordinator is? Who do you think is also a quarterback Oklahoma can go after and replace Kevin Sperry? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm working on something special for you all in the morning. If things come to fruition, you'll get an extended pod, an extra pod, first thing in the morning. And, if it happens, you're going to enjoy yourself. That's called a teaser. We'll chop it up in a day or two. Peace.